Steel Line, how may I help you?
Yeah, this is Bob Reynolds, Freedom Industries. Just calling to let you know that we've got a leaky tank.
Can you tell me what the material is?
MCHM.
Is the material hazardous or toxic?
No.
No?
No.
Tonight, truckloads of water are being rushed to the capital of West Virginia for about 300,000 people.
Don't make baby formula with it, don't brush your teeth with it, don't wash with it, don't shower with it, don't drink it.
I'm Angie Rosser, the Executive Director of the West Virginia Rivers Coalition, a statewide advocacy organization dedicated to protecting water quality. I live along the banks of the Elk, which has now become a world-famous river for a catastrophic chemical leak on January 9th. Our organization has been working on water issues for 25 years, and in that 25 years have seen several incidents of contamination. But this one was different, just by the fact that it affected so many people. We knew we had an opportunity to contextualize the conversation into some of the systemic issues we've seen over the years that have contributed to the degradation of water in the state. And what was important to be able to do that was to make sure we weren't looking at this as an isolated incident of one tank leaking or one company, one bad actor, but to really widen the lens, open the conversation up to what are the systemic long-term issues, the culture, the attitudes that have really set us up for this disaster. We're so used to hearing in West Virginia that EPA has overreach, that we're afraid of sacrificing jobs in the name of environmental protection. So this was a real example of people being affected, how if we fail to regulate, we fail to protect our water resources, we pay dire costs. This morning we issued a press statement, and soon after that developed a column that went national, and it really talked about our anti-regulatory culture in West Virginia and how this chemical leak was a symptom of that. Our team spent time looking at where were the regulatory failings at every level of government, and then took that information and crafted solid recommendations for what needed changed from a legal standpoint, and offered the legislature and the governor some specific reforms that they could implement in the wake of this crisis.
Lessons learned is the first report that we put out just a couple of weeks after the chemical spill. The document looked at the Clean Water Act, the Safe Drinking Water Act, and the Emergency Planning and Community Right to Know Act, and explained what those three major federal environmental laws had to do with the Freedom Industries spill. And then it also talked about what can be adjusted with new legislation to make sure that something like this would not occur in the future. In the West Virginia legislature, usually it's hard to get pro-environment bills passed. And things really changed with the chemical leak. One thing that's really notable is that the bill that eventually passed with so many of our recommendations passed unanimously in both the House and the Senate and was signed by the governor. And for something like that to happen in West Virginia is fairly unprecedented in recent years.
The people coming together from all backgrounds, all walks of life, all ages is really what I think initiated the power shift. We wanted to find a way to support new emerging activists and groups coming out of this. So we started holding a series of roundtable meetings where it was open to anyone who wanted to be a part of this organizing work. And in the early stages, it was a lot about immediate relief. How do we get water, safe water, to the people? After that, it evolved into the legislative advocacy, which we were providing people the tools, the messages to take to their elected officials, empowered people for the first time to step foot into the state capitol, to have their voice heard.
Those of you who aren't used to speaking up, who might be uncomfortable speaking up, but who still have something to say, my message to you is this: your voice, my voice, is so important, and our actions can affect change. So please stay loud.
Parents are not the only ones who want answers. I haven't learned for a week because of schools being closed. I refuse to drink tap water because I feel it is not safe if pregnant women are warned not to drink it. My friends and I are the future of West Virginia, and we are aware.
So for us now, it's thinking about what's next and how we build off of this to really look at changing the future of our state and thinking about what is water going to be like for future generations. This is a turning point where we are shifting the trajectory of our story, of our future. Turn this around and be a model for the rest of the world, saying, hey, we have this wonderful resource. We are blessed with this. West Virginia is special because of this. And show the world that we are good stewards. We understand our status as a headwater state and honor that.